For the next couple minutes, I just want to talk a little bit about dysphagia. Dysphagia is a difficulty with swallowing any sort of food or other things like that, and often it can induce in a person a great deal of fear, frustration. If they're incapable of swallowing their food, if they have difficulty swallowing, they find that sometimes food gets lodged in their upper GI tract, or unfortunately sometimes it gets into the trachea and is aspirated, breathed in, and it creates problems when they can't swallow. And some of those problems involve aspiration, choking, and asphyxiation. So difficulty swallowing is a real issue. And you really want to try to help people with this. And so we're going to talk about some of the options that can help people who are suffering with various forms of dysphagia for various reasons. My own grandmother had a minor stroke, and one of the results of the stroke is a strong dysphagia, and we had to go to a feeding tube ultimately, which is one of the options down here, a gastronomy tube or a jejunostomy tube. So basically a tube that's inserted directly into the digestive tract, completely bypassing the area that is having the problem with the dysphagia, the throat here, where food's getting lodged in the upper GI tract or is being aspirated into the lungs and in the trachea. Before you go to the extremes of the putting in the G tube or the J tube, some things you can do is teach the person, if it's only a minor dysphagia, a posture modification, tucking the chin in, tilting the head back, various ways of helping the food move down through the GI tract and to get it so it doesn't stick. You can also work with the texture of the food in its various forms, making sure that it's made easier to swallow. I know it's probably less appealing, but if you still want the taste of food, a lot of food can be put into a blender and made to be eaten with a spoon, like a soup, things like this, so that you can still enjoy the taste without some of the dangers associated with dysphagia from not being able to thoroughly chew the food. And then finally, there are even options like artificial saliva, once again, to help break down the food into a easier to swallow form. So in trying to help people with dysphagia, remember that they obviously need to eat. We need the sustenance. People derive a great deal of joy from eating, certainly enjoying the flavors and things like that. But if they have problems swallowing, so the discomfort of food lodging in the upper GI tract or then getting into the trachea through aspiration and all of the fears that go along with choking and things like this, there are options to help people so that not only they get the nutrition that they need, but that they're also able to still enjoy eating. So we've just gone over a few of those things. If you'd like to learn more about dysphagia and related matters, underneath this video you'll see a link to a website. If you'll go to that website, you'll find that information there, and while you're there, you'll also find a link to an ebook that's ready for immediate download.